Welcome back mga ka-learners! Sa isang leksyon, pinag-aralan natin ang kahalagahan ng kaunlaran ng bawat komunidad. We also discussed how we could properly identify and prioritize problems and needs in our community. We also learned that the participation of every member in the community is important to attain community development. Ngayon naman, may bago tayong pag-aaralan na tungkol pa rin sa pagtulong sa pag-unlad ng komunidad. Have you ever participated in a community activity? It may have involved providing your labor to assist in the construction of a learning or health center. How does it feel to know that you have done something for your community? If you haven't experienced this at all, don't worry. You still have a lot of time to do things for your community. After completing this lesson, you will, number 1, identify your role in solving the problems of your barangay. Number 2, explain the importance of participation in the activities of your barangay. And number 3, identify projects which can help solve community problems. How would you define participation? We can say that participation is the involvement of individuals or groups in your community who work together to try and solve our community problems. Have you ever heard of the saying, "Two heads are better than one"? Participation is important in implementing projects or activities in the community because the people are taught how to address their community needs. They also learn how to tap their community and outside resources. There is a sense of ownership for the residents in these development projects or activities. The people's participation can lead to their unity and mobilization. Unity and mobilization may lead to better ideas for projects or activities which may be useful for the community. As a participating member of your community, you have a different role to play in helping solve your community's problems. One of these roles is for you to become an instrument of change or a change agent. A person who is an instrument of change or change agent is someone who can introduce change in the community based on his or her observations about the community. An example of this is someone who may introduce new methods or technologies in fishing. This person may know someone or an institution who could teach fellow fishermen about these new methods or technologies. Another role is for you to become a volunteer in any of the community's development projects. As a resident of your community, it is expected that you take an active part and give your full support to the projects of your community. Have you ever volunteered as a poll watcher in your barangay? Have you ever joined the Clean and Green campaign in your community? Did you ever disseminate information about the harmful effects of addictive and dangerous drugs? There are many community development activities or projects we can join in our community. Do you know that there are 2 ways of initiating or bringing about participation? Participation can be initiated through the following methods. Number 1, top-down. People are motivated to participate because they have excellent community leaders. These leaders are able to emphasize to the residents the need to participate in community activities in order to improve their quality of life. Number 2, bottom up. The residents in the community are able to push for activities or projects which need to be implemented in the community. The residents see these activities or projects as solutions in addressing their needs. Through these means of initiating participation, we can say that participation involves both leadership commitment from the top and people's motivation from the bottom. Let's wrap up the important points of this lesson. 1. You have a role to play in helping your community become progressive. Be involved and committed. 2. A community's development depends much on its members. If the community has a dedicated leader with members who participate actively in community development efforts, and with the help of concerned government agencies and the private sector, then that community has a better chance of progressing. 3. A community will not be as progressive as it could be if its members just depend on the government to solve their problems. 4. Get involved. Join and actively participate in community development projects to help solve your community problems. 5. A barangay's progress is not just through the efforts of 1, 2 persons, or 3, but through the collective effort of each member of the community. These members include its leaders, change agents, and volunteers. There you go mga ka-learners! We're done with 2 lessons under this module. See you on our 3rd and last lesson.